I've been living on the road for 3 months now, living out of my Jeep Wrangler. It's a 2010. It's got about 108,000 miles on it. I pretty much started right outside of Philadelphia, and I started going down the coast. I pretty much went through all of Virginia, North Carolina, all the way down to South Carolina, just north of Charleston. When I decided it was getting too hot and I had enough, I started going northwest. So I went up through West Virginia, across Kentucky, through Missouri, through Iowa, and here I am now. I'm in Minnesota. It's this place, pretty cool little town. It's called Virginia, Minnesota. But right now my plan is just continue to head west and continue to find, you know, these cool locations, cool places. When I started living on the road, my main focus was keeping my job and being able to work full time as a stock trader out of the Jeep. So my biggest focus was electronics, battery capacity, storage, and basically having a full work desk setup in the Jeep. And so far it's worked out very well, but I'll break that down, go through that for you, and then pretty much just go through my entire setup of what I've got. Because keeping my job in the electronics was the most important thing, you know, having constant internet connection, always connected to the markets. Whenever the markets are trading, they're open, I have to have connection. We'll go over that first and show you guys kind of what I've done. Pulled out the passenger seat. I know a lot of people, they don't like to do that, but for me, I knew I wasn't going to be traveling with anyone. No one else is going to be hanging out with me in here. So removing that seat really allowed me to free everything up. So I'm not working off just a single laptop. I'm not, you know, crunched up in a smaller space. So this is it. So dual monitors, it's plenty of space for what I need for all my trading purposes. I have the wireless keyboard. I've got a mouse as well. It's just not hooked up right now, but this is it. It's been working out really well. When it comes to wattage, about 85 watts right now. It's because I am charging my laptop right now, but you can see being able to remove that passenger seat allows me to completely be entirely functional on the road, no issues whatsoever. When it comes to the actual battery, what I have is a 200 amp hour battery that's stored right where you would typically have your passenger feet. All the wires, very ugly, but it's all tucked away in the back there underneath. And I'll probably make a video of like more in depth about the electronic setup. And I know a lot of people are really interested in that. Like, how does the solar panel hook up to the MPPT charger and everything like that. I'll probably do an in-depth video about all of that in my setup, but just for purposes right now, it's a 200 amp hour battery underneath where I pretty much installed all the other smart electronics. 700 watt Renogy inverter. This is great. I've got one power strip. That's pretty much the only one I use. I'll use this other outlet once in a while, but this has been working great. I've never really exceeded, I would say, more than 250 watts or so. I don't run a Dometic fridge or one of those fridges all the time or anything, so I don't have like a constant drain. It's pretty much only when I'm working during the day when the markets are open. Here I also went with the Renogy. This is the MPPT solar charge controller. Effectively what this does is it shows you, it'll pretty much regulate all the charging from the starter battery. So essentially the Jeep's starter battery in the engine charges my 200 amp hour battery sitting right behind this wall here. Effectively what it will do is will regulate all the power consumption in wattage and all the input and output from the alternator, the solar panel. This is the battery status. Yellow meaning it's not fully charged. Green would be fully charged at 100%. You can see here I've got my battery monitor. We're at 75 right now. Perfectly fine. What I'm drawing right now is 80 watts, 85 watts or so from charging and using this multiple monitor setup. It's going to leave me about 22 hours of power running at this rate. So plenty of time. Markets are open for about 8 hours a day. So no issues there as long as I'm kind of still moving around a little bit. Underneath I have pretty much all the wires and stuff. Again, I'll probably go through an in-depth, just purely electronics setup. But for now, that's my setup, and it's been working pretty well. So when it comes to actually getting internet on the road, how do I do that? What I've done is I've gotten the, ignore the clutter, the MoFi 4500 network. Pretty much what it does is you can order from Visible. Visible is the Verizon umbrella. You can order a SIM card, which, you know, just like any other SIM card that goes into any cell phone or anything, order one for this MoFi, and it'll pretty much get you dialed in, ready to go. I think it's like 30 to 40 bucks a month, something like that. But it's been great so far. Just these antennas alone have been working really well. Obviously, if I'm really remote in some places, like I was just driving through Superior National Forest and I had nothing, I was able to get no cell signal. But for the most part, I mean, all freeways, like, I mean, the signal has been, I'm pretty impressed with it. I didn't realize how easy it would be. There were some places in West Virginia, like very southwestern Virginia, where even when I was in the cities, it was really hard to get service. But for the most part, I mean, I haven't had too many issues. It'll be interesting to see when I go out west into like BLM land and stuff, how that's going to change. But because I was kind of like, because I was really worried initially about retaining and keeping an internet connection when I first started out, I just went ahead and purchased this WeBoost. It's the WeBoost Reach. I think it's their strongest one that they have. It's supposed to boost the cell signal that goes into, effectively, from this antenna into, runs through the Jeep, and then is supposed to come off this antenna here that I put into on the dash. I haven't really tested it out too much, so I don't know how effective it actually is, but I usually leave that off most of the time. So I'm just pretty much using the antennas from the MoFi 4500, and that's worked pretty well so far. There, like I said, there have been some dead spots in some places where I just, you know, I have to blame like something else. If someone realizes like I lost connection or something, I just make up a story or something. But that's my electronic setup. It's worked really well. I'm pretty happy with it. There are definitely some tweaks and adjustments. Like, I don't think I need that entire box. I think having like an articulating arm, like a, I don't know, like a metal arm, like lightweight metal, like an aluminum arm or something that can articulate out, and I can just like pull up my monitor, pull up my laptop, and then put them back and like tuck them away. I'm thinking about doing something like that in the future, but for now, that desk is awesome. That's the only reason why I've been able to retain a full-time trading job while living on the road. Next, I'll go through my kitchen setup. Pretty much what I've done. Oh, we're on a hill right now. That just came out. I saw Drew Sims. He does the same thing. He lives full-time out of his Jeep Wrangler. I pretty much got the basic concept from him, except I had to build mine in a park in about 4 hours with not the right tools and pretty much no help. So it's really poorly constructed, but it kind of gets the job done. Effectively, all it is a dual shelf system. Bad. You can use a dowel to support it if needed. And then I've got my grill, and then a drawer that slides out with pretty much all my food that I want to keep stored, all my seasonings and stuff like that, coffee, you name it. I pretty much use, I'll use this like every other day or so. A lot of times I'll just stick to a lot of pre-made food from grocery stores. I try to eat relatively healthy, so anything that's fresh, pre-made, salads, stuff like that. But I do once in a while, obviously use this. It's worked so far. I've got this upper section as well. For the purposes of like trying to stay healthy on the road, not eating gas station food, this has worked really well so far. Super happy with it. Again, just like my desk, it's not a great solution, not the best solution. I'd like to have someone maybe actually gut the entire Jeep and actually build something out better. someone who has experience, you know, doing that type of thing. I think that'd be cool in the future, but for now, this works. Built it in like 4 hours in a park, and it works. Then, of course, you have to have the max tracks. Do you even overland if you don't have max tracks or traction boards? I did get stuck. I got stuck in a mud hole in, where was I? Kentucky, in one of their national parks, and I had to pay a tow truck to come yank me out. Actually, it was just some guy in his Hummer, worked for a tow truck company, but it was just a little yank. I was barely stuck, but the Jeep was not getting any grip. I have just stock, I think, what are they, 31-inch tires. It's just all stock for the Sahara. I probably have 10,000 miles, 12,000 miles on these tires. So soon, very soon, I'm hopefully going to upgrade to 33-inch, maybe a little bit wider tires, and then a new set of wheels as well. I'm probably not going to go 35 just because you have to re-gear the engine and everything. I don't want to go that crazy with it, but I think 33s will look really good, and black wheels. What I have is this Hook Road top rack. I think this was like 450 bucks or so. I was gonna go with the full rack, but those are like $800–900,000 from like Smitty Built. So I just went with this cheaper half rack. Works really well. And then what I did is because I wanted to put a solar panel on the top. This is a 175 watt solar panel. It's also a Renogy. It just came with the entire package with everything. And then all I did was I just took these from Home Depot, just these angle irons, and I think they're all 5 foot, and I pretty much just put them on, drilled into the Hook Road rack, and then secured it all with, I think I ordered these separately. These are actually Smitty Built, just 2 Smitty Built bindings right there. So it's super sturdy. What I do have is a ton of drag. Solar panel's definitely dragging me down a little bit. So what I'm gonna do in the future is get a light bar on top, and then I gotta figure out just a windscreen or something like that. I have 2 gun cases for my boxes on top. One side, I pretty much just have tools and stuff, you know, emergency stuff, starting kit for the car, tow straps, tie downs, stuff like that. And then on the other side, it's completely designated, just pretty much clothes. That's all. No, these are about 6 inches tall, and I think I can get away with, I like how slick and like kind of like low profile it is, but I think just for having the space, I'm gonna go with some taller, shorter boxes here, maybe a couple inches taller, maybe 2 of them, and then turn one of these sideways and then throw another one on top on the solar panel sideways, just because I really need the extra, I need the extra space. I think I don't use the solar panel. I probably won't need to use the solar panel until I have a Dometic fridge or something similar running all the time. Pretty much my power consumption comes from working and not so much from just being idle. You know, I don't really have any other fixed appliances or anything like that that are drawing any power. So I've plugged in the solar panel. I know it works, but I don't need the extra power right now. But I would probably suggest anytime, like if I would be, you know, camping for like a week or so, having that solar panel and hooking that up, I would definitely do that. But right now, I'd be opting to throw some storage on top of there instead. All right, and then coming to the back, I just have my water, 5-gallon water tank, and then 5-gallon jerry can. Jerry can's empty. I probably won't really need this until I really go out west when it's, you know, everything's a lot more dispersed. But being on the East Coast so far, haven't run into like fuel issues or anything like that going crazy. With the water can, the only notable thing is that I had to just custom make this little spigot here. It's just a spigot that comes off the end, just so I don't have to keep, you know, unscrewing the cap. I can just do that for water, and we're good to go. I have this Rhino bag here on the tire. I've got a camping chair in there. I've got a hammock in there, shovel. I think I've got a hatchet in there, like a pair of shoes, just other stuff that I can just, oh, dirty clothes in there as well. That's where I keep my dirty clothes. Definitely outside of the Jeep, not on top, but just in a bag there. And then other than that, just random 2 other side bags that came with it. You know, just random like bags, cooking stuff, AK-47 magazines, you know, just like the normal stuff. And same thing, other side. What do I have here? Like Clorox wipes. Oh yeah. Tissue, sunscreen, saw, stuff like that. A little bit of fishing line and stuff like that, lures. Here, when it comes to the bed, super basic, nothing crazy. I was thinking about getting like a fitted foam mattress or something like that, or like a little twin size mattress. But what I've got works. I don't really need anything crazy, but it just comes down. Drop the seat there. I've got this little like board to cover up the gap in between the seat and where it folds down. Just put that board there, roll out all my stuff, and then that's pretty much it. I've got, you know, 2 pillows, 3 pillows, something like that. I've got my day bag, and then just a computer bag for work, for holding my personal laptop, my work laptop, stuff like that. Keep all that stuff safe. Other than that, I've been just using a cooler for everything. Got a full fan in there. Cooler kind of sucks. I don't know. It would be so nice to just have like a Dometic fridge or something I don't really have to worry about that much. And having to fill that thing up every like 2 days with ice is just, it's not it. It is not it. And then I guess finally, I also have a Jackery 240. I love this thing. This thing's awesome. So pretty much what I do is I run my fan and my like chargers for cell phone and everything off the Jackery, and then I just charge the Jackery through my secondary battery through the outlet whenever I need that. So pretty much Jeep is charging secondary battery is charging the Jackery. If I need to, I've also got the Jackery solar panels stored right here on the side, if you can see that. And yeah, that's it for the most part. I do have Reflectix. What I did is I just blacked out the 2 back windows, so they're completely blacked out. No light in, no light out. And then I do have extra Reflectix that are spray painted black on the outside if I need to place them on any other windows or something, anything like that, if I'm in a pretty public area. But pretty much other than that, like, everything's gone relatively smooth. I think as smooth as you can hope for it to go when, you know, working full-time, living full-time on the road. I haven't run into too many issues. I have gotten knocks twice. Yeah, twice, I believe. I know there was one day in South Carolina when a cop rolled up pretty much right at midnight. I just happened to be awake. Like, I barely just woke up and saw him rolling up, so it didn't really scare me or anything like that. And then I've definitely had multiple other cops just kind of stop, talk to me, ask me what I'm doing, you know, making sure I'm okay. But other than that, been super friendly. You kind of see this rig, and it's like, okay, you know this guy's like overlanding. You know he's living out of the rig. I did have one morning just outside of Myrtle Beach, just west, a little bit inland. I slept in this parking lot. It was just like an abandoned parking lot, nothing like a hotel next to it. But I woke up like 5 a.m. on the dot to a guy staring in my driver's side window, just trying to peek in, because I keep my windows kind of cracked a little bit. So he's like trying to peek in a little bit. Scared the absolute hell out of me. Like complete, just like fight response, immediate. So I just started like yelling, "What are you doing?" And then he was saying, I don't know if this is real or not, but he was saying that I guess some windows got busted in a parking lot nearby, so they were looking for someone sketchy. I thought he was about to bust in my window, so I got out of there. He was there with a buddy. So that was really the only real scary moment. I mean, I think being a guy living on the road is not near as bad as if you're some chick living on the road. I can definitely see where you get worried quite a bit. But I don't know. I think a lot of people see this rig and they see me and they're like, okay, that guy's a psycho. He's living out of his car. Just leave him alone. Don't mess with him. But other than that, I don't know. What else do I have? I think I covered all of it. I'll make another video of the actual, the full electronics breakdown. That can definitely get a lot more in depth, like the gauge of the cables and stuff like that, of the wiring. I haven't had any issues. I probably need to go in and double check everything. You know, make sure all the connections are snug still. I did my own crimping and cutting of the wires and stuff like that. So probably doing a double check of that. But like I said, I would love to have someone like who knows what they're doing with woodworking, or using like lightweight aluminum or something like that, to actually build out a much better setup. I just have a lot more ideas of like what I could do for a smaller, more compact desk. I know I can make a smaller, more compact electronic setup down there, and then also having that sort of kitchen drawer setup that can have more drawers. It can be much better, but that's just something I had to build in a park and kind of get it done and not be in anyone's way. It's kind of funny, like going to just a roadside park, having a couple of sheets of plywood and start cutting it up. People kind of look at you weird. I think other than that, I mean, I do have one thing, just these two nightlight pods. Got them off Amazon, super cheap, wired them up myself. And then, like I said, I want to do a light bar up top as well. I'll get that at some point. Then also, because I've gotten stuck already, I think I want to get a winch as well. But to get a winch, you need a new bumper. You need a bumper that actually has a winch panel actually secured to the frame. So definitely a lot of upgrades I want to do, but more to come. If you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, or like any comments or something, or anything that you guys think would help me living on the road, like let me know down in the comments. That'd be awesome. I think I hit everything. And pretty much what I'm going to be doing is I'm probably going to be making a lot more videos. Just traveling, living on the road, that type of stuff. I really like channels like Mav. Mav is a great channel. Drew Sims, great channel. And then you have all the van life channels and stuff like that. But what I like doing is running mountains. So my goal is to head out west. I want to get into Wyoming, Montana, Colorado. So go out there and see some pretty good mountains. But I think right now, so I'm in pretty much the middle of Minnesota. I'm heading west right now. I was just on Lake Superior for a couple of days. Now I'm going to be heading west. Yeah, I don't know how much time I'm going to spend in North Dakota, South Dakota. I'll probably go see Mount Rushmore. You know, whatever else there is to see there, if there's anything. I have no idea. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you. See ya. Yeah.